We start our countdown with number 25, Valdez Showers, Madison Heights, Madison. Besides one of the greatest names in Michigan high school history, Showers ran through the OAA in the late 2000s. A transfer from East English Village and forced to sit for a year, Valdez burst on the scene when given the opportunity. Skilled on both sides of the ball as a back, Showers rushed for over 1,500 yards as a junior, over 2,000 and nearly 30 touchdowns his senior year.
I still run into guys, across the state right now, coaches, that, man, hey, I never saw a guy like Valdez Showers. He was just a showcase in itself.
Recruited by Florida for his defensive prowess, Valdez did damage as a safety for the Gators, signed as a free agent with the Washington Redskins in 2016 as a wide receiver. He's back on the market. Number 24 is a guy who has found recent success in the NFL. Lions fans know all about current Seattle Seahawk Thomas Rawls, who ran over Detroit in the playoffs. But in high school, Rawls represented Flint Northern in 2010, rushing for nearly 1,600 yards with 19 touchdowns on 150 carries. Showing flashes of what had become, this included a 400-yard effort as a senior. Rawls started at Michigan before transferring to Central Michigan. Our 23rd ranked running back in our list carried the load for Romulus in the mid to late 90s. Fred Russell, over 5,000 yards rushing over the course of his high school career. Russell rumbled for 85 touchdowns.
He was another one that was a kick returner, and it was good out of the backfield too, catching little swing passes. So I think, he was that speed back, could bust one, but also could run between the tackles.
In 1998, nearly 2,500 yards and 44 TDs. That's sixth all-time in MHSAA history. Fred the Hustle Russell went on to Iowa and had a brief stint with the St. Louis Rams. Our first of four guys who carry the surname Williams comes in at number 22. Our first multiple state champion led the way for legendary Farmington Hills Harrison in the mid-90s. One of Oakland County's most bruising ball carriers, Nick Williams, bowled over the competition, and the Hawks won titles in 1993 and 94.
When he came to us as a freshman, we called him Dancing Bear. That was his nickname. He's kind of a pudgy kid and everything, but we could see the potential in him.
I just remember watching him in the state finals with that 99-yard trap play up inside.
I don't think he ran that far before, but he was a good one.
Big guy, so explosive for his size, so athletic and fast.
He was about, I think, maybe 220 when he played for us. That's big for a high school back. And had good lateral movement and everything. I used to kid him that he couldn't block, so he ends up going to Miami and is a blocking back for Edgar and James for like 3 years.
A fifth-round draft pick in 1999, Nick Williams had stints with Cincinnati, Green Bay, and Baltimore. Coming in at number 21, the first of two backs that ran in the PSL for Detroit King. From 2009 through 2011, Dennis Norfleet could beat you in several ways.
Dennis Norfleet, pound for pound, he was the best around.
I first saw him playing middle school basketball, actually against my son. He was in the 8th grade, my son was in the 7th grade, and I was like, it's a grown man out there playing with kids. Even though he wasn't that big, he was just explosive.
I was doing Little League, and he was playing for a program called the Westside Rams. And that was the first time I was able to see him at 13 years old. And I was like, wow, this kid here is phenomenal. They gave him a nickname by the name of Wisconsin, because that's where he comes from.
In 2011, Norfleet rushed for over 2,000 yards with 27 touchdowns. Crusaders nearly advanced to their second state final in 5 years, primarily because of Norfleet.
He was lightning fast. I remember first series of the game against them, we stopped him first play, stopped him second play, and third play, he's 55 yards to the house.
You can't grab his flag, let alone tackle the kid. I mean, unless you're surrounding him, you give him any open space and he is going to exploit it like nobody's business.
He broke a stadium record on us, like 100 yards. Our kids thought it was a touchback. He picked it up on the inch line and returned it, just a risk taker. Didn't mind taking the gamble, and he would bail his team out every time. Dennis just had that attitude. He just had that attitude of,
You know, he refused to lose. He was going to win.
Dennis went on to play at Michigan before finishing at Tuskegee. Norfleet is currently seeking a roster spot in the Canadian Football League. At number 20, already our fourth back that would play in the NFL on Sundays, and much like Rawls, former Westland John Glenn running back Jeremy Langford is doing it at the next level. In the mid to late 2000s at Glenn, Langford racked up 6 200-yard games and 2 300-yard games. As a senior, he finished with just under 2,000 yards and 24 TDs on 205 carries.
He needs less to get more. You know, all he needs is a little sliver of daylight right there, just a little one arm tackle instead of getting your body on him and a couple of arms and wrapping him up. Even those, he'd run through those. But that's why he's so special.
What we did with this list is, okay, what did they do in high school? Okay, they played for this school, they had this many yards, they went this far in the playoffs. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, how well did they do in the college ranks? Did they go on? Did they, justify their numbers in high school by being as good or maybe even better sometimes in college?
Jeremy made his name in the heyday at Michigan State and is currently securing a spot for his third season with the Chicago Bears.